finally, yeah, we've been wanting to bring you up for like the longest time in the year.
Yeah, for sure.
We just kind of wrap up kind of a few questions about the game and about your time in the game and everything else.
For sure.
And about MDB in particular.
Yeah, and who's MDB? First and foremost, let me start with, for those who don't know out there, who's MDB and where did the journey start?
So, Maglera Doe Boy, real name is Ntja'ka. I was born in the Free State. I was born in the Free State and I probably lived it for a few months. My family moved back here, but my family comes from two sides of South Africa. One side is in the Free State, obviously, and the other side is called Swuh, which is where my mom's and them come from. But before that, I think they're from Joburg. The journey started around when I was like 9, you know?
Yeah.
I was a Methodist at that time, and before my pops lost his job, and then my life changed, and that really like triggered me doing the art, you know, because traumatic experiences always change people and it sparks stuff. So I was in grade 5, and my friend, his name is Cash, we're still friends now, he's a part of ONDE too. He was like, yo, you know at the school, Western Music, kids of the Western Music. Yo, you're new at the school, can you make music on top? So he's like, can you rap? I was like, I can sing, you know, because kind of going to be go
Sure.
which is why you guys can hear a lot of like opera stuff in my music, you know,
Sure.
because I was in a boys choir coming to this.
Sure.
So the man was like, can you rap? But my brother wasn't like really good. He could just rap. He loved hip hop, but he's the reason I loved hip hop on top. Even the way I dressed, that's my big brother. So I joined this cool little cash. It was called OG. It meant all gangsters, you know, because we were kids and we come from a crazy hood, so we felt like, you know, we had to bring out that energy. So we formed this crew and we rapped up until like grade 7, and then people started separating, doing sports, etc. We were going to high school, so obviously you know everyone was going to say, well, something that's going to change the game. Got to high school and then it became a real thing, because when I got to take, all the boys had stopped.
Oh, you went to take?
Yeah, I was in top of technical high school. So I think I would take it, didn't fit in, didn't do sports, you know, didn't do any of that. I was in
high school at tech.
Yeah, high school was tech, primary school was mixed.
What subjects were you doing?
Everything was light, my G. I did business studies, I did math literature.
Business, bro.
Yeah, you know, you can't be a dope if you don't know how to, you know, stay to work.
Sure.
So, people would take it. Once people would take it, there's a few rappers there. Shout out my big homie Rocks, aka Rocky. You know, he's still a part of the family too. He was at that time like dopest rapper at school. And I don't think that was the alarm. I think that was pretty nada. I rapped once, so that made me like just always, you know, think about stuff more than the average kid in my age, you know, like any young nigga, if you have older friends.
Like you've been a visionary like, from a young age.
Yeah, I used to draw a lot, and the newspaper, the magazine. One tall. Big up was Gela borrow my book, there's like comics there, there's facts, there's song lyrics I wrote, you understand? I just didn't think I was going to be a musician, but I like art.
What do you look up to, like, while you were at that stage, bro?
But right now it's just me, my nigga, no cap.
What did you look up to, like, who inspired you?
Yeah, for sure. Back in the day, it was like a mix of people. My intelligence comes from my parents, because only do Uguta, Soana, so obviously those were the first influences, and then my big brother, you know, we came from a very humble family. I won't say like we were like fucking poor, you know, but we weren't rich. And that's what also made me hustle so much, because when I understood the difference with my family and other families in terms of money, then I saw, oh, so I'm not really like some kids, you know, this kid can pull us, yeah, you know, and I can't say outcast, I was just aware of the financial situation at the house. And that fucked with me mentally, and that put me in street culture. And then I started looking up to street foods, which is why I dress the way I dress, which is why I look the way I look. That's like a lot of like the closeted kid in me when I was coming of age. And then after that, like, I had no idols. Then I knew what I wanted to become.
Bro, you had no idols, bro.
I mean, like, after I found the niggas who told me what I could be,
Yeah.
you understand? I didn't need anyone else. I could see, okay, this is Doe Boy. So now it was about working on Doe Boy. I had big homies, but it's like they used to tell me, don't idolize anybody. You understand? Whatever I took off it. So that made me understand that people are people, and if you wanna like make anyone great in your eyes, it has to be the person in the mirror.
So like, who was that Doe Boy then? Who started making more Tetris? Where were you in your life in that part of the time?
We were still here. We had just came back from Joburg, you know. Nash was two years deep in the sound engineering course. Rest in peace to my boy Nash. Rest in peace to Moji Liora. Rest in peace to Daisy. You know, those are the big bros in terms of clubstone, street culture, music culture. Niggas must always understand. ONDE niggas changed the game. It was like all of us on top.
Sure.
So Nash Anatwa, who was my engineer at that time. Nash Anatwa Bojuzi, because I don't call it Bojuzi. We understand that he goes to Jersey, and I start going to Joburg more because of him. And that's when I start now meeting body editors, everyone else.
When the networking comes together.
Yeah, the network comes together, and I start playing my position in the label, which is now the founder, and I'm the one who must go find us plugs and deals, because my music is what gets people talking to us, but it's not like I'm...
So you have your own label?
Yeah, for sure. I got my own label. I started it with my boys. Back in the day, it was just a rap crew. And it had been something I formed myself to call my friends and my fans and clubs. But ONDE actually wasn't supposed to be a rap crew. It was more of like the movement, one thought. But we have now started a label from that movement, and ONDE, just in case people don't know at home, stands for Organized Newbie and Divine Entities, because the music was very militant, you know, and me being such a fan of black people and our history and trying to teach kids where we come from, up this continent, and what we used to be hundreds of years ago before a lot of stuff happened, was we were like, you know, very royal. So we started that movement, and then 3 years ago, after meeting Khuli, and Khuli gave me advice, she was like, yo, I feel like you are so much of a boss. I don't need to sign you as much as you need to open your own label and collab with my label, so we're business partners, you know, and we formed ONDE Live.
By the way, how did you meet Khuli
So
in that period?
Khuli was, I met Khuli just after Tetris. Khuli was doing album High, the absolute for.
Were you still in high school?
No. So when I was in high school, just to derail a bit from the question, when I was in high school, I was doing everything myself. You know, Hype magazine. I was in Hype like when I was like 17. Like grade 11. Yeah, Pola Hype like short, that was 10 feet. It was a big deal, you know?
So you are buying from like Blackstock to like
Jersey,
on a regular.
10, yeah. Killing more the plastic, it's a shop right, the plastic stand over my.
But in class, but you're out there on the
Madam Corner of Africa who was here, because Banati, but I'm not somebody because in more paper, so we must let him go. One thought, if I'm being honest, sometimes in the give up. Go tell them about the it was a bit of both, you know, the street culture and me understanding myself as a businessman were happening at the same time. But that's what made me understand I can be bigger than just street culture. But to go back to your question, I met Khuli when he was doing the album with Absolute Vodka, and at that time I was stuck at home because we just came back from Joburg the year before, one thought. So I think like, I'm starting to charge, but like no one else at home is charging so much. No one else is getting paid at shows. So I'm like, I want to be the first guy to do this so that they respect us, you understand?
Sure.
So they start giving me a K, which is why I said it in praise. One told I fuck up logo for the feature. One told I was the bare minimum at that time. And you look at it now, it sparks so much at home in terms of transactions in art, one thought. So I did Khuli, and Khuli's like, yo, I'm doing this album with Absolute. And Abu introduced me to Khuli. Abu was like, yo, we've got the tender, Khuli shop album, give us the whole thing in terms of production. So Khuli had a song he wanted to do with Snoop Dogg, it's called Numbers. And then when I got there and I was like, oh shit, niggas wanna put Snoop Dogg on the song, it means I have to like go hard. I put like 5 verses on that one beat.
On one beat?
Okay, then when I feel out of here, Yo.
So they get options.
One taller. And that's how it happened. He heard all the verses, was like, dog, this shit's crazy. You know, let's make more music. And then he was like, what you doing? I was like, yo, I'm at home, but I'm stuck in a situation like this. Me and my friends do this, but besides the music, I'm also in street culture, but I sort of want to get out of it because I feel like the music is going to be bigger than that.
Yeah.
One taller. So he was like, dog, come to Jersey, you know, let's make music. When I'm performing, come on stage with me. Let me start helping you develop that side.
Yeah.
And that's what the past 3 years was with Khuli, leading up to like Bodega.
Yeah.
When we dropped Bodega, my brand was growing. When we dropped Bodega, now I could like, speak better in interviews. Yeah. You understand, articulate, which is artist development. Yeah. And then after all of that, we were like, we're ready to go, which is why I lead the team.
Speaking of brand, like, wasn't it hard like to push your music? Also at the same time, you're an independent artist. Also to push your brand, wasn't that hard? Like, to
I mean, dog, it depends on how much ownership you want, but at the same time, you will spend more, you will struggle more.
Yeah.
You understand? And even when I was with Khuli, I was still independent.
Yeah.
We were collabing on stuff that we know was gonna become bigger. Like one understand the Koala, freestyle or Harvey. But in terms of the main target market in South Africa, that's not for everybody. That is a developed sound.
It's a niche market.
Yeah, it's a niche sound.
Yeah.
One taller. So I would always say that I want to bring projects to him that I feel like I want to make us cash. That's the best way to think about it. Because
when Khuli dropped the song with Casper and also you, were you like already chose like out of high school that time?
Yeah. I mean, dog, I did my first song with Slique when I was in high school. Slique, and I was Slique and Arepa. It's called Joburg City. Yeah, one taller. Kina was Balak Cleve. And then after it, obviously high EP, one taller, but it was hard to get big features. But like I finished high school 2012. One taller, 2013, you know, Kina Penu, Kinsabo, and progression in 2014. And then say 2017, go for like go to the Koala. And kind of going to the reason it's only the suppose all over a child for one toy. So Khuli go but then 2015 going into 2016. And by that time, like I had already met Priddy, Shabila Masha, Toby, some famous rappers, one taller. But now I was like, I understood now it's not I don't think that is gonna happen. But to answer your question, I met Khuli 2016. So everything that happened with Khuli is from 2016. One top.
So would you say like after meeting Khuli, like your career kind of escalated?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean that's what a cosign does. You understand, and that's why a cosign is so expensive. That's why you calculate who you want to give a cosign, because sometimes you give someone who's not ready for the cosign, and then it messes them up or it messes up your business. One told him, at the time he found me, it was a good time for me to say I still want to learn. So I learned a lot, and I'm learning as my career is growing because of what I'm doing with this guy. I didn't think it's until ONDE. I'm saying to him, yo, let's develop this side, the more commercial Doe Boy, so that by the time he comes out, I am mentally and like just ready in general. One taller for that jump, but you don't want to make that jump when you still have mental health issues. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you might grow up and you go into alcohol, drugs, women, or just clout. One taller. So by the time I'm in Khuli, dog, he just knew what to do to say, yo, this is dope, but this is how we make it big. One taller.
So like, as the time like you're going on Khuli and doing all these cool signs, weren't you like feeling the pressure like, yo, like I'm signed to Khuli, like, and all my other peers are like doing this shit or like pushing? Weren't you kind of feeling like the pressure? Also, I wanna blow up.
Sure.
Weren't you kind of feeling that pressure also?
I mean, just to correct you, because I want this thing to be very clear.
Yeah.
I'm signed to ONDE.
You didn't sign to Khuli.
Yeah.
You know, I've been signed to ONDE. Had I been signed to Khuli, I feel that we would have done a lot of bigger stuff quickly, because he would have been forced to now say, yo, here's a budget there, couple $100,000, here's a house, here's a car. But that comes with now Khuli owning more of our music. You know, he understood I wanted to be my own boss. You want to, so he explained to me, if you want to do that, you have to open your label, register the music, learning the backstory of the machine. So that takes time, you know, that takes time, and that's the time that I needed. That's when all hell happened with Casper. That's when.
What year was that?
All hell is probably 2017.
2017.
You know, 2017. Yeah, and all hell was actually the All Hill freestyle. I was freestyling it for Khuli.
Yeah.
I wanna develop this sound where like I sound like a god or like a kid.
Yeah.
And I wanna call him Brody because it's like I'm like my power level is untouchable. I'm drunk with power. So he was like, it's risky because people don't get it. It sounds dark, but because I believe in you, I will take it and do it with me too. Now we're rapping in 2 more boys. You can see 15 more minutes. Just before. We actually used to speak about working, and then when Ambitious happened, we just like stopped treating each other, obviously even with that, I felt like, let me chill, we'll link, real niggas always link or talk.
Yeah.
So, Raw X is where I met Jay Marley, all the boys from Never Broke, those are my boys, we used to trap them, they often like little one told and then go once.
So before the song Jay Marley dropped last year
with me and Khuli and Jay.
Was the first song you ever did with them?
Yeah.
So you've been like...
Yeah, I knew them, but like also at that time, Jay was blowing up,
Yeah.
And Jay was blowing up when he was like very young, so he had to make sure some certain people were his friends before he would work with them, etc. So we just stayed cool. We hung out a lot. I think it just got to a point where we understood, okay, Maglera was really my boy, And then it became a thing of, whenever you want something, I got you. Whenever you want something, I got you. And then I went to Babyface Dean's house, like 2.5 years ago. We were supposed to do a song, and then Jay couldn't get on the song that day. He wasn't feeling too well. And then I ended up doing the song with Frank Casino's called Phantom of the Mobsters. But me and Jay did something recently last year for my album. It's fucking dope. You boys might hear it anytime, but those are my boys, Raw X, Never Broke, obviously My Throne because that's the family, but those were the first groups of people I lived with besides Fred Kayembe and his big brother. Fred was the editor of Hype when I was in high school, and he was the plug.
Fred has been scarce so much this year.
No, he's staying low, he's running Stay Low.
Because I remember like my first Hype that I bought, like AKA Casper cover.
Yeah, Fred.
It was still big.
Yeah, Fred left writing and went into the production with partner. He is at Stay Low Entertainment with my other Brody Vaughn. You boys might know Vaughn as the guy who used to manage Shane Eagle. They went Eagle Entertainment together. When that was dissolved, Vaughn went to open Stay Low. They got a record label. It's dope. I got some stuff with them too.
So like in terms of like your sound, like for those who don't know out there, how would you describe it?
Abstract, uptown, intergalactic, township.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
Those are the keywords. It's uptown because we're from the hood, but we always wanted to be classy. It's intergalactic because I speak about the matters of the spirituality and us being God as black people. It's township because of the slang, and because of just me and who I am, and those are the keywords that I always give people. But besides that, dog, it's just a young person having fun,
Yeah.
Like I always have fun with my music.
Like why is it hard like for artists like you and Bo Martin, is it so hard for people to adapt to your guys' sound? Because you guys are raw and you bring that kind of like outcast sound into the music. So is it so hard?
So those first two things you just said were like the first answer to that question. But it's a new product. You understand? You are launching something that people have never bought. They don't know how to eat it. You still need to help them consume it. You understand? By that, from only little Goldie to when I got to Povo, that was me mastering how to make that sound for even a kid to like it. And that's Ntja'ka. And that goes back to what I was thinking, has to buy the consumer if I'm a good rapper. You need to make them understand. That's when you're a great artist. So it really just takes the artist taking the steps to make it more accessible to the people also. Like I leaked the tape now, but it's just on SoundCloud and AudioMac and stuff. And I leaked it so that it could really simmer in with the people who always have my back. So that by the time we go to iTunes and we're out, and I can't do drops like that anymore. Niggas remember, Doe Boy used to give us presents. But those steps are what people need you to do.
Because I was about to ask you, like, why didn't Doe Boy drop like 2-player on my iTunes, on my Spotify?
Nah, I didn't care about the money. 2-player was not about money when we made it. My boys died as a 2-player. I need niggas to understand when my boys we're still alive. All we wanted to do was fuck up the game. One told. And in terms of the root of me fucking up the game, it's always been the outcasts, the have-nots. One told. And giving them that thing to make them understand we still love them. We still got love for them. We ain't jobbing a while, we're going through our own shit. But where we at right now, it's Harvey and Saul. One told. Because I feel like even when it goes to iTunes, 2Player is not the project that I want to get bands of or get a #1 or but my iPhone can feel it Google Drive. If you really want to listen to my music, you take the effort to go get it. One told, because that's what that was. It was an artistic thing. It was a niche product. It was something I was showcasing. You know, when we are going now into the deal, we just got with Universal and the business, you know, we big boys.
Is it an ONDE Universal?
So Angela ONDE is partnered with my drone. So obviously my drone curated the deal because I'm still into the business. But ONDE owns all this. So we give my drone the product, they move it that side, which is really the same thing. They get a cut for doing the work, and then we just celebrate having good relations with two big entities and being able to pick that. Do you want to draw something independently? Do you want to make it huge? That's why I really did it. So sometimes I can still come home and develop some stuff with the kids at home and say, okay, let's do this one like this. Because that machine, maybe it's not tailored for the machine right now. One choice.
So things like Bodega started happening. Bodega was huge, by the way.
For sure.
It
still is, obviously.
No one has made a song like Bodega.
Bro. I want to skip to like when all of these things started happening, and then the ONDE's finest verse happened.
Wait, before that, my boy, before that, I want us to get to Boma last year when he was doing all those features, Boma. Features that we can mind. What did you see?
That nigga's about the concert team. So give us 2 months or 2 weeks. You will get on all of it. Accept it like the feature, but I understand now why. Because now I'm not doing features anymore. The only features I'm doing is people coming to do some stuff for my album, and I'm sure you'd love to do them back. But I did all those features, and shout out to Boyti, you know? Fixes, Homegirl, Portugal, obviously cousin, shout out to Ginger Trio, Wantola. There was a quick chat. Bash just called me, was like, yo, Boyty's finishing the album.
Maglera Doe
Nah, I was in Joburg. You gotta go for weeks. No. Expensive cuisine, you get the much on, so that's something I was going to get. So Boyti hit me up, Bash hit me up. I recorded the verse, sent it back to them, and we can rap in like 5 minutes, you know.
So how much time did it take for you to?
45 minutes to write, 40 minutes to record. You know, it wasn't a lot. I was excited for it also. Did that, but same with a lot of songs that I like. Most of these songs, they don't take too long. But like Bodega, I took my time. When I heard that beat, I knew this is the anthem for at home. I must write it and respect what I'm going to speak on. Some songs I just go off, you know. 018's finest, I just wanted to show the game, whatever.
So when the video happened, did you guys shoot it, watch and also hear Maglera?
Yeah, we watch it. Didn't really want to shoot more because there was no culture, lockdown, blah, 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 blah. So we did a few scenes, but maybe like 20% of the video, I can even say 15, was in my hood. The rest was in Boyty's hood, also because of traveling and time on tour.
So out of the year last year, out of those features, like, wasn't it hard like for producers to kind of get used to how you do it and how you navigate your sound, or was it like a natural thing?
I think because of how much I've always respected studio. And it's also something I always tell this kind of just because with that same energy, that is a workplace. And when I get down, I'm always professional, you know? So that makes the process very easy. I can't say I've had a bad studio session with anyone.
So it kind of made like the work very easy to
Live for a tip with Younger.
I
wrote that verse in 20 minutes. I used to say 40, but Younger remembers. He said, yo, you wrote it in 20, then you went outside, then you were touching it up, then you came back inside. One told.
Younger's album?
Younger's album. That's my nigga, that's big bro. Shout out my boy. Paying my career.
Hardest shit in the streets right now.
Yeah, for sure. Street things is up, Ntja'ka is up, you know. I don't know if PTA calls it Ntja'ka, but in terms of vernacular, Sesotho, Chana, baby rap, you know, that sound is up, you know. I feel like we're about to have that round that Makita had, but it's just like dudes like us now.
Yeah, for me, like it kind of happens like naturally, and you guys are kind of like very outspoken. It kind of happens in a way that it's easy and somehow it's a very rare sound. So it feels like you've been there in the game. Yeah.
But niggas like us are like young OGs. I call myself as a young OG though. Like I was in high school when I was in grade 11.
Yeah.
No one at home has ever done that with the type of lifestyle we had too. You understand? Niggas are on hype now because you can upload on the hype website.
Yeah.
One told I got paid. He called me to say we like that song, we wanna put it there. One told I remember the first guy to tweet about him was AKA's DJ at that time, DJ Vigilante. One told. And that's when I just got tweet to Fanatic. Shout out to my boy.
Yeah.
But he used my big homie too.
Yeah.
Fanatic tweeted and dog like no one at home understood Twitter. So like I'm like, yo, you niggas don't understand.
Yeah.
Fanatic just wrote, whoever sent champagne music to hype music, please hit us up. This song is crazy. One told.
Sure.
So my manager at that time hit them up, dog. I was like, yo mama, I'm gonna be in a magazine. You know, that was a big deal. One told. And then after I was in hype like 5 times, the trick.
Yeah.
One told. By the time I was out of high school, we knew. One told. So when I needed 25K and a Thato, Kilo Abwell and one brother, I came up listening to your shit. You know? Because when Kilo was still almost finishing high school in PTA, and I share about nostalgia. One told. And this is like something you can ask him. Like I don't really call Kilo like low bro, but I'm a bit older than him. One told, but you understand he's a real nigga enough to give me that to say, yo, I saw my fella doing this. You get it? That shit was fly to me. One told. Thato we just met now, but like we don't have hate for each other. That's what we did, you know? Even with Kilo, I had to tell him like I don't know if you and Thato are cool or not, but just in case you're on, I'm in the picture, we have to do this together. Kilo the Thato about like distance from here to like that.
So west side.
Go South Street. I get better go Priddy, but my Thato and I go Kasi, the ghost house. My reason why I got to catch up with ghost house, we want to go down or maybe go on now until I get first time, but they grew up together.
I wanna ask, bro, like, were you?
You have one more question after this.
When you were like doing all these things hype and then back to high school, did your parents were your parents like believing in you, bro? Like
my dad only found out that I'm a famous rapper last year, bro.
Yeah. Only last year.
Me and my dad weren't really cool, you know?
Yeah.
And when we became cool, it was in and out. But I would never tell him about my art because he was so special to me in terms of like how much I looked up to him. I wanted to tell him about it when it was like a real thing. So he found out about it. He was like, yo dog, you know, you pop it. I'm like, nah, we doing that there, you know. But my mom's, it took a while because also the music was connected to drug dealing, getting arrested.
Obviously, you always wanted to.
Yeah, but when she saw that it started getting more pure, I told her she was one of them. So like, yo, this is a real thing.
Yeah.
And then when TV happened more and I started getting cash, they showed more support, you know. Now it's like a family business, you know. It's like I respect it. Like when I think about it, it's like this is something that can change my life and my family's life. So they understand that.
But how did that Content Fest performance? How did you end up there? How did it happen?
Scoop, shout out Scoop, you know.
So did you like have a relationship with Scoop like on the phone like before?
A little bit. We started speaking after my boy Fred Pack from the Sobering podcast played in Bodega. After Babetha episode podcast. So Scoop heard my music and interesting story. Now Scoop stuff
Bro, I remember I logged onto Twitter on this other morning and I saw AKA posted your shit.
He called me that day. He called me like maybe I don't know how many hours after he saw Scoop or when he was with Scoop, but I woke up and my manager was like, yo, I think the day before I had like a show or something, so I was resting. I woke up, my manager was like, yo, Scoop is looking for you. Then she called me again, she's like, yo, Keenan is looking for you. One told her, I'm like, oh shit, this is crazy. One told her, then he called me again, he's like, yo, what's up, my boy, it's Mega. I'm fucking with shit, stay up, keep working. One of these days we'll lock in, you know.
Sure.
And yeah, it's just what it is, though. And that's basically everybody. Even Casper with the whole Ntja'ka video.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, I know it's not like we're like the two. This team hit me up. TV hit me up. You know,
Sure.
like Cass is doing Ntja'ka. He wants to do pull up. You know, I was like, that's how you start showing love. You know, we don't have to be the best of friends. Just do showing like, yo, you're dope. Here's a little one up on top.
Yeah.
Just pulled up a capella. Yeah, for sure.
In terms of like the way you portray yourself and the way you dress, I feel like as the way you are. Because when I'm talking, I'm gaming, they want to pull up your face,
For sure.
one thing unique about you is that you pull up the way you are.
It's just cheaper to be yourself, bro.
Yeah.
It's advice I'm gonna give all you little niggas. It's
Yeah.
cheaper to be yourself. You get me?
Sure.
Faking is gonna cost you a lot. Especially your heart, you know?
Bro.
And that's how we're gonna end it up. But yo, boys, so beautiful. Stay up.
Good man.
Wish y'all nothing but love. Yo, Maglera. Shout out my boy Penny Machiavelli. Y'all see the merch. Penny Machiavelli out now. Player coming to DSPs. The baby, I got 3 August. Don't let it
Good man.
Bro.
Thanks a lot.